Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm a pilgrim. I've just taken a plane to Bayonne, France. And then I got to the train station. I'm on the train. I'm going to Saint Jean. I'm very excited because I'm going to the Camino. I get to Saint Jean, and it's so charming. It's this hill, and there's these little stores, and I can almost imagine that I'm a pilgrim from 1,000 years ago, and they're selling the bones of saints instead of, ice cream, which they're selling now, and little souvenirs. And I find my albergue, and I get my pilgrim's passport, and I find my little bunk, and I go to sleep. And I wake up in the morning, and I'm a pilgrim now, and I start walking. And oh my fucking God, I am walking up and up and up, and I have never walked this high in my life. And I go up, and I am so tired, and up, and I pass Onto, and I pass Horizon, and there's those beautiful Frenchmen there that say, you could stay at my albergue, but I keep walking. Up, and up, and up, and up, and I'm so tired, and there's all those other pilgrims, and I'm walking, and there's that little shrine, and there's Mary, and I'm at the top of the pyramid, not the pyramids, the Pyrenees, and it's quite magical, but I'm so tired, and I keep walking, and up, and up, and up, and up, and I think I'm at the top, and then I keep walking up, and up, and up, and up, and finally, I start walking down a little bit, and oh, my knees, and I'm walking down, and I see this castle. It looks like a castle, and it's Roncesvalles, and finally, it's like 6, 7, 8 hours, and I make it into Roncesvalles. Oh my God. And I find the albergue, and I walk in, and it's like being in this amazing, like, seminary or monastery or castle, and it's this huge room, and all these bunk beds, and all these pilgrims, and we're excited, and I wash my clothes, and I hang them up to dry, and I find my bunk bed, and I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning, and it's so beautiful, and I'm just in Navarra, and I'm in the Pyrenees, and I'm just walking, and it's 17 kilometers, and I make it to La Soña. And I find my albergue, and I have a little café con leche. It feels really good. And then I wake up in the morning, and I walk again. I walk to Pamplona, and I go through this odd little town. It's a little strange. I'm just like walking through a town now that's not very pretty, but it's okay. I'm walking and walking. I make it to Pamplona, and I like walk through the city gates, and it's the old town, and it's so amazing, and it's beautiful, and I can't really find the albergue, but then I do, and I find the albergue. I find my bed, and I wash my clothes, and I talk to the pilgrims, and I go to sleep, and then I walk again. And I walk, and I walk, and I walk, and it's through Pamplona, and it's very beautiful, and I'm walking along the streets, and I then walk through this kind of garden part, and I walk up this little hill to Cisor Menor, and I think I have a little coffee, and I meet some more pilgrims. Then I walk, and I start going up, and up, and up. Oh my God, I'm going up again, up, and up. Whew. And I walk through this town that kind of has a little bit, and oh, there's a little albergue, and I find a coffee, and I walking up, and up, and up, and up. I make it to the top of the mountain, and there's these windmills, and there's these metal statues of pilgrims from long ago, and there's some guy with a van who's selling water, and I get some water, and then I walk down. Down is almost worse than up. It's a little scary, and I'm walking down, and down, and down, and down, and down, and then I walk flat for a while, and I get to, what are the names? Ortega, no.
Porta Alegre.
What are the name of those towns? There's two, Obanos and
Uterga.
I say Ortega, it's not Uterga. And stop for a little coffee, and that little guapa woman, and Obanos, and go through that little gate that looks old, and make it to Puente la Reina. And I decided to stay at the albergue that's up the hill. So now I'm walking up another hill to the albergue, but it's really nice, and they're really friendly. And I find my bed, and I have some food, and I go to sleep, and I talk to pilgrims, I wake up. And I walk, it's a very nice day, walk to Estella. Walk to Estella, it's a lot, it's a long day. Well, it's about 20K to walk to Estella, 22K, walking to Estella. Okay, it's a little up, it's a little down, it's okay. It's raining a little bit, it's okay. I keep walking and walking and walking and walking. I make it to Estella. There's this beautiful river, there's some little ducks, and it's this beautiful little town and cobblestone streets, and there's that wonderful store, which I'll tell you later. It's that great store with the woman who's so nice, and she sells pilgrim things, inexpensive, very, very nice. It's on the right-hand side. If you come into the town, the albergue, the municipal is on the left, and you go past the little square on the right, just a little past that, this woman has a wonderful store. Very inexpensive, everything wonderful. Okay, I find the albergue, I go to sleep, I wake up. That night I drink a little wine with pilgrims and we laugh. Okay, I keep walking the next day, walking, make it to the wine fountain, have a little wine, it's too early, I have a little wine anyway, walk through the little forest, go to Monjardin. Villa Mayor de Monjardin. Get there, I find the albergue, I'm gonna stay there tonight. I walk up to the top of the hill, I see the castle, come back down, go to sleep, wake up, walk to Los Arcos mañana. Walking was a very long walk. It's a very long walk. Nothing really to see other than Spain, but Spain is lovely, and I walk 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 and I walk. Make it to Los Arcos. After Los Arcos, it's Torres, something Torres.
Torres del Rio.
Torres del Rio. I'm gonna go to Torres del Rio. Los Arcos is very nice. Has a nice cathedral, nice albergues, but I'm going to Torres del Rio, Bueno Vale, over a little hill. I go down in the little valley a little bit, spend the night, wake up, walking again, walking, go to Viana. It's a bit of a hard day. It's a little up and it's down and it's up and it's down, and my knees are feeling it a little bit, but I'm walking and walking. It's hot. Walking and walking and walking up and walking down, walking up. But I get to Viana. Viana's good. I like Viana. It's very charming little town. And I'm not going to stay at the municipal. The municipal is nice, has many levels, but I'm going to stay at that little one that's at the church. It's very charming. It's a little more cozy. Next day I'm going to go to Logroño. I'm going to walk through Logroño. I'm going to see that old fountain and see the church that has Santiago up there. I love it. And I'm going to keep walking, and we go through that park. It's really nice. We're going to see the geese, and we're going to see the little squirrels, and we're going to just walk through that lovely, lovely park. We're going to go to Navarrete. Navarrete, it has that beautiful church. It's up on the hill. We're going to go in the church. We get a little stamp. We're going to stay there right across from the albergue. That's nice little kiosco. It has the man that's very charming to sell us our little cheese and bread and tomatoes. Stay in Navarrete, and then we're going to walk, and we're going to walk the next day, and we're going to go to Ventosa. We will stay at San Saturnino. We're going to walk all day through wine fields and up and down and up and down and walking, and oh my God, we're so tired now. Okay, we made it to San Saturnino. It's a very nice albergue. We made a reservation because otherwise it would be full. We couldn't get in. And we go to sleep, and we wake up, and there's this nice little courtyard. We have our coffee, and we walk the next day to Santo Domingo. And we walk, and we walk, and we walk, and we walk, and we walk. It's wine fields, it's lovely, it's vineyards, it's sweet, it's La Rioja, they have nice wine, and we walk, and we go to Sirinuela and Sirinueña, and we get to Santo Domingo, and we go to the municipal albergue, and it's very nice. They have little lockers for us. It's right in the old town. We made it. Have a little coffee, talk to some pilgrims, go to sleep, wake up. The next day we're going to walk to Belorado. It's a little difficult. We go through Dos Santos. We go through, where else do we go through? Dos Santos is not, the next day Villa Rio de Rioja.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're going to stop. We go through Grañón. A lot of people go through Grañón. It has that nice church, but I like Villa Rio de Rioja. because that is where Acacio and Orieta live, and they have this albergue, and it's like coming home. They treat you as family, and it's so sweet. So we're going to go there. We walk and we walk and we walk. It's hot. Then we walk and we walk. But we make it. We are welcomed like family, and we feel good. Ha. Bueno, ya está. The next day, it's a long, bloody walk because we're going to go past Belorado, which we like. We like Belorado, and we could stop there, especially if it's summer. The Cuatro Cantones, it has a swimming pool, so it could be a great place to stop. But we're going to go a very fucking long day today. We're going to go all the way to San Juan de Ortega. We're going to walk through Belorado. This is a way too long of a day. We're doing it anyway. Through Belorado, through Vilafranca de Montes de Oca, up the hill, through the bosque, the forest, and then down into San Juan de Ortega. And it's late. It is such a hard walk. We have been walking all day. I think we ran out of water at some point. Walking. And in the forest, it just feels like it goes on forever. Finally, it starts going down. We make it into San Juan de Ortega. There's just beds left for us. Thank goodness. And they give us garlic soup. We find our bed and we collapse into it. Okay, and then we wake up the next day. We're going to walk into Burgos, but we're going to go to Ajes, Atapuerca. We might take a little side trip to see this archaeological ruins. And then when we get to that part, we're going to take a left rather than go straight so we can walk into Burgos along the river. Much nicer. We make it into Burgos. We find an albergue. We do a little sightseeing. Burgos is not my favorite place, but it's very beautiful. We're going to see it. Ya está. Get to the albergue, we wash our clothes, talk to pilgrims, have something to eat, go to sleep, wake up. We're going to walk to Hornillos del Camino. Hornillos del Camino. No, Hornillos del something. Hornillos del Camino, okay. It's a long walk. Walking out of Burgos, it's much nicer than walking in if you go the wrong way for sure. We walk. What's the name of the town? There's another town on the way. Villa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think we stop there and get a little bread and tomatoes or something. We keep going and we walk, and it's starting to get really hot and flatter because we're going toward the meseta. We get to Hornillos. Now, we're going to stay at the municipal albergue. It's quite nice. It's right in that square, the main square. There's nice little views from the main square of the campo. But there's a little bar. If you walk up the hill a little ways, there's a little bar, and we're going to go up to the bar and have a beer. We're going to talk to pilgrims. We're going to go back, and we've washed our clothes. We're going to go to sleep. We wake up in the morning. We're going to go up the meseta, and we'll walk straight flat to Ontanas. Then we're going to keep going. We're going to go through Sambol. We might stop and see. It has a little water for us. Go to Ontanas. We'll have a little something there to eat because we're going to keep going after that. We're going to go to Ontanas, and we're going to go to the Convento San Anton, and we're going to see it and take photos. And there's now a little bar there on the right-hand side as you go through. So we're going to stop there and have a coffee, maybe a beer, depends how hot it is. And we're going to go to Castro Eris. It's a long day. In Castro Eris, we are going to stay at Jorge's, and I can't remember the name of it. Casa Rosalia. That's where we're going to stay in Castro Eris. It's gorgeous. We're going to get there. We're going to wash our clothes. We're going to find our little bed. It feels so good. And then we are going to climb up the hill to the castle. It's a castle from 1,000 years ago. It's like from 1 AD or something. It's ridiculous to climb the castle after walking all day, but we do it anyway because it's amazing. We can see views from all over the world. The next day, after we go to sleep, so happy to sleep, we talk to pilgrims. They give us a meal there. It's very nice. We wake up and we walk to Boadi and Camino. the first part of the day we walk a little flat and then walk up this hill. Up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And we see these people on bicycles, and we're glad we don't have a bicycle because they are walking their bicycles because it's so steep. Of course, when they get up there, then they zoom down. I don't want to zoom down on the bicycle either. At the top, there's a guy, he's very handsome, and he has a little truck, and he has bananas and little biscuits and things, and maybe we get some, and we keep walking. That's actually the nicest part of the day for me. I like going up because then we go down, and that's a little more difficult, and then we go walking and walking and walking and walking and walking, and then we get to this, what is the name of that one? It's this little...
Entero del Castillo.
Itero de Castillo.
Puente
It's before that.
Alto de Mos.
Yeah, that's where the... Just before the Puente Entero, there's this little albergue that it has no like electricity or anything, and you can stay there. I don't stay there, I'm not staying there, but it's charming. You can go in and take a little photo. Then across the puente and take a little ride, and you go to Itera de la Vega. You can stop there for a coffee. It's a very nice coffee. But then we're going to keep going to Boadilla del Camino, and I always stay at Boadilla en el Camino because my friend Eduardo, he runs this and he is lovely. The albergue is lovely. It has a swimming pool, it has a grape arbor, they have a little patio, they serve you food, they serve you wine and beer, they give you a dinner, and in the morning you get coffee and a breakfast. It's a perfect albergue. So we talk to the people and we wash our clothes and we go to sleep. We wake up in the morning. Where are we going to go? We're going to go past Fromista and we'll go to Carrión de los Condes. And it's a nice town. They have at the very end of town, they have this really nice hotel. I can't remember the name of it, but they have like a pilgrim museum the last time I was there. And it's quite nice where there's different albergues. We're going to stay in the hotel. We're going to treat ourselves. The next day, it's a long, flat walk. It's like, what is it, 12 or 17 kilometers? 23 kilometers. Long, flat. Just get your pilgrim on and walk, and walk, and walk, and walk, and walk, and walk, and walk. And what's the name of that town at the end of it?
Ledigos.
Ledigos. No, it's before then maybe?
Antico Hospital de Santa Maria de las
No.
Santas.
I can't remember the name of that town.
Calzadilla de la Cruz.
Calzadilla, yeah. But maybe we'll go a little farther. Maybe we'll stop there. There's also one that has a swimming pool there. So we might just stop there. It's a pretty hard walk. It's just flat and there's rocks that twist your ankle with every move. And sometimes there's someone that has a little van that shows up with food or drink or something. It helps. Then there's San Nicolas and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
so we'll stop at one of those. We're not sure. We'll see what happens. Then the next day, I think we go to Sahagún. Sahagún.
Sahagún.
Yeah, Sahagún. It's a bit of a difficult day. It's because it's just so flat, it's the meseta, but you have to get your psyche involved in just like this wide open spaces and just walking, just be a pilgrim, just be a pilgrim, just be a pilgrim. Get to Sahagún. There's lots of things. There's albergues, there's bars. You get there. Whew, I'm glad I've walked all day. It's hot, it's flat, I'm tired. It's not the most exciting walk in the world. I want a beer today. We're gonna have a beer today. And then we're going to find the albergue and we're going to talk to pilgrims and we're going to wash our clothes and go to sleep and wake up. And then we go to Mansilla Las Mulas. I think that's the next day. Mansilla Las Mulas.
It's Bercianos del Camino, but really Religos.
Reliejos. Maybe Reliejos. I've never stayed there. I always keep walking. But we could go to Reliejos. It's a very nice albergue. So we walk and 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 we walk. Give me a walk. Give me a walk. Give me a walk. Kind of flat still, a little more interesting. We get to Reliejos. They have a nice little bar. We talk to pilgrims. We wash our clothes. We go to sleep. We wake up. And then the next day is Mansilla Las Mulas.
Yeah.
Okay, Mansilla Las Mulas is a very cute little town. Has like this puerta and it has a church to take pictures of. It has this street where there's lots of places to get a little beer, and the albergue I always stay at is at the left-hand side. It has a little garden and flowers, and it's really, really lovely. We're so happy to get there because it's a long, hot, flat, dry walk. And we get there. Okay, good. The next day we're going to walk into Leon. Another just long, long walk. Walking. Leon, I like Leon. It has the catedral, it has hotels, it has albergues, it has places to eat, it's friendly, it has a nice river, it has it's lovely. It has an old town that's really beautiful, has bookstores, has lots of stores. It's about 200,000 people. We're enjoying ourselves in Leon. The next day after Leon, we're going to walk out. We're going to see those bodegas. It's a bit of a difficult walk out. It's just like walking through the city, and the walk out, it's not so beautiful. And we go through, what is that, Virgin place?
La Virgen del Camino.
Virgen del Camino. It's not so beautiful. Now, if you go to the left at one point, you're going to walk longer, but you get to it's not Masarife, it's something.
San Miguel del Camino?
No, it's something with an M maybe. Anyway, it's run by a really nice guy, but it's a longer walk, or if you keep to the right, it's less long walk, and you're going to walk to Hospital de Órbigo. And there's some other... San Martin. You can stop in San Martin. It has a nice albergue, but it's not much of a town. I'm going to keep walking, go to Hospital de Órbigo, and we're going to stay at the albergue San Miguel, our favorite, one of our favorites. It's run by Arturo and Piera, and they came from Venezuela, and it's lovely. They treat you like family, and it's like coming home. Vale, muy bien, estamos aquí. Very good. The next day, so we go to sleep after talking to pilgrims, having some food. We wake up and we're going to walk to Astorga, and we go through, what's the name of that little town? It has a nice water fountain.
San Justo del La Vega?
No, it's not Justo de la Vega. It's, anyway. Santibáñez. It's a nice little town. You get a little coffee. They have a nice coffee shop, and they have water. Keep going. We're going to go to Astorga. You go over that little bridge. You go up and over, boom, down. You can see Astorga. Astorga has lovely everything. You can stay at the municipal. It's very big. They probably won't run out of beds unless it's the height of summer. And then, well, you know, you do what you do. Nice square, lots of shops and pilgrim shops. In fact, the pilgrim shop that's off the main square, they even have a $5 bin, so you can find a little treasure. The next day is a beautiful walking day. We're going to walk through this country. It has like these red dirt and red rocks and heart rocks, and you go through El Ganso and Murillas and Santa Catalina, and you get to Rabanal, and Rabanal, the municipal albergue, is lovely, and it's usually run by volunteers who are very happy to be there. They have a little church service if you're into that kind of thing, and little bars and things where you can get food, and you talk to pilgrims, and you wash your clothes and go to sleep and wake up the next day. We're in Rabanal. We're going to go to the Cruz de Etero. So if you had found a rock that you possibly picked up along the way, you might have been holding it as a little talisman. You're going to walk up and up and up and up and up, and it's beautiful. You're walking along the side of this mountain, and there's just freshness everywhere, and you walk up and up and up and up, and you go through Foncebadon, which used to be almost nothing, and it's become more now. It was like an abandoned village that they're bringing back to life. You can get a little coffee there, something to eat, feed the little cats that are in that little town. Keep walking up and up and up until you get to the Alto. Can't even think of. Can't even remember what it's called.
Fuentes Nuevas, Campanera, Carcabella.
No, we're way before that still. Anyway, you go up Cruz de Ferro. So you go up and suddenly there's this big cross on the top of this rocky little hill where people have been throwing their rocks, and you can throw your rock on the little hill and make a little prayer for yourself that you're letting go of whatever you're letting go of. Then the rest, you kind of wind your way down through the mountain. You'll pass this, Manjarin, where this Templar guy lives, and you can stay at his albergue. There's not electricity, and it's all very rustic and templario. I've never stayed there. I've stopped for a moment. Then you walk down and down and down and down and down until you get to a very lovely little town called Molina Seca. You can stay there. There's albergues, there's little shops, and it's pretty. Or you can go just a little bit farther to Ponferrada. I usually go to Ponferrada. I'm a city girl. I go to Ponferrada. I like the city. There's a castle you can see. It's a Templar castle. The albergue is very nice there. The municipal, it's very big. Usually there's room if you get there in time. The next day, you can wake up and see the sights in Ponferrada, have a little city time if you like. There's a nice post office right along the way. You walk through a nice little park on the way out of town, and you go to Cacabelos if you want to stop in Cacabelos. There's a nice albergue. They have this albergue at the very end of town. You go farther than you think you might because there's the whole town, and then it looks like you're going out of the town. You cross a bridge, and there's the municipal albergue, and it has all of these rooms that are just 2 people in each one. It's not as private as you might think because you can hear everyone that's talking in the clapboard room next to you, but it's a little bit private. Or you can keep going, and there's this tiny little town. You walk up the hill. There's a little winery. You can stop and do wine tasting if you like. And I think it's called Pieros. And there's this tiny little albergue right on the hill on the right side, and then another on the left side. I've stayed at the one on the right. It was quite lovely. Or you can keep going, and it starts winding through this lovely, lovely countryside, and you're walking, and there's grapes growing, and it's just sweet and lovely. It's kind of a little up, a little down, a little up, a little down, and winding through the countryside, and it's quite little, and through a couple of little towns that you can see how they went to disrepair and they're being built up again, and it's so Spain. Keep going, and then you start going up a little bit more, and still just really beautiful and grape arbors. And then you come into Vilafranca del Bierzo. It's a beautiful town. It has, I think it's a big monastery, or it's a big, huge something that actually has an albergue in it. Or you can stay at the municipal, which I've never stayed at. The one I've always stayed is the Ave Phoenix, which I just found out this time was they used a pendulum to determine the best place to put things, and there's thermal heat going through the underneath the women's dorm, so it has a nice feeling, and they give you breakfast, and it's just really quite an experience of the Camino. The next day, you kind of walk along the road a little bit and kind of under the highway, and you're just going to walk a lot. It's just a long, long day. It's a little up, it's down, it's just walking and walking and walking and walking. It's beautiful, it's Spain, and we're going to get to Vega del Balcarce. Yeah? And there's the Albergue do Brasil, which is friendly and lovely, and in the summer they have hammocks. There's also a municipal, there's a little river, there's a castle you can climb up to. It's quite steep. We did it this year. We stayed at the El Paso, and the woman who ran it is lovely, 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 but it was a bit cold, and you have to rent your blanket if you want an extra blanket. Pero bueno, okay. The next day, it is fucking tough. You're gonna walk to Ocebrero. It's one of the most beautiful days on the Camino, but it is a hard walk. You're gonna walk and walk and walk and walk and walk, and then you're gonna go down, and it seems like, oh good, I'm going down, and then you go up. And each step you take is through a magical forest, but it's totally uneven terrain. So if you have a hard time, this is where you will have a hard time. It's really steep, and one step is high, and the next step is low, and it's magical. The trees are talking to you. It's like these ancient forests, but it's hard. It's a hard walk. You can take the alternate route that the bikes take, and you're on a paved highway, and it's actually easier, but you don't get the magic. You can stop before Ocebrero. I think there's Herreras, which is as far as you can get before you start going up. There's La Faba and La Laguna or something, and those are kind of in the trees and these little tiny albergues. I've never stayed at them. Ocebrero, it's like this Celtic village. It has bagpipe music, and it's just charming. It has these little thatched houses. The albergue, of the 4 times I've gone through there, 3 times they've not had any room at the inn, but I've usually gone in summer. There's little hotels. You might want to find a place to stay if you want to stay there. I've had to walk 10 more kilometers with a hurt hip one year. It was really tough to go to the Alto de Pollo. And there's another tiny little albergue. It's not much, but it's an inn. And there was room for me that time. Then you walk, and 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 you walk. Ocebrero to, I just spaced out. Tricastela. You go down. So you've gone first, after Ocebrero, you still have more up to Alto de Pollo. And then you start going down to Tricastela, which is in a little valley. It's not much. I mean, it's not actually one of my favorite places. It's lovely enough. There's different places to stay. You can get private albergues. There's a municipal. See if you can find room there. Now, from there, I have always gone through Samos. There's 2 ways you can go, San Gil or Samos. I always go to Samos. It's a lovely little walk. You go through San Cristobal de Real. You go, after a while, you go down, and you're just in kind of this green and lush, up and down, up and down, up and down. There's not water. There's not fountains. Once you get into Galicia, it's not as friendly somehow. There's not fountains all along this way, so make sure you get water in Tricastela. The walk is lovely. When you get to Samos, there's this huge monastery. If you're tired at that point, there's an albergue there. It's quite lovely. You can stay there. There's a couple of bars for something to eat. Make sure you get water, and then you can keep walking to Sarria. Again, there's no water along the way, and the people are not friendly. You go through these little towns, but no, people are not smiling anymore for some reason in Galicia. All along the way in Navarra, in La Rioja, in Castilla León, everyone was friendly and lovely, and yet into Galicia, and they don't seem so lovely anymore. They just kind of look at you like, who are you in our land? Pero bueno, Sarria, it has lots of places to stay. There's a little steps you walk up to get into the main part of town. There's I think it's a convent or a monastery albergue, a little out of the town. You can stay there. We stayed at, what was the name of it? Corona, or what is the name of that place we stayed? It was quite nice.
Yeah, it was Corona, I think.
Corona, something. It was nice. It's on the Camino as you go down the hill, like you've passed through, and it's this, I think it was a yellow building that's quite ornate right on the right side, and it was quite lovely. I have an albergue, a boutique hotel, and a little hotel. We stayed in the little hotel. The next day is a great day. It's on the way to Puerto Marin, and you kind of just, it's a lot of flat, but it's pretty, and you just walk, you walk, you walk, you walk, you walk. Puerto Marin has this wonderful little bridge that you go over, and then steps to go up into the town. Puerto Marin is one of my favorite places. They have municipal albergue and other private albergues that are really nice. Now, for us this year, my friend and I, we had gotten a touch of the flu, and she had been just put down, and we had to wait 5 days. She could barely walk to the loo, much less walk on the Camino, so we had to find a place. So by the time we got to Sarria, we didn't have enough time for her to walk the rest of the Camino and then be able to get her flight back home. So we stopped and we took a train into Santiago. We got into Santiago and it was raining as usual. We found a place to stay. The next day we went into the place to get our Compostela, our piece of paper. We did it. We walked from Saint Jean to Sarria, and you know, ever many kilometers that is, and they told us, no, you can't have your piece of paper because you didn't walk from Sarria to Santiago. However, if instead of doing what I have just described to you that we had done this, gotten off the bus at Sarria, and with our little soup.
What happened?
It just said low video. So we could get off the bus in Sarria, and we could have a suitcase, or we could have a backpack, and we could send them along the way, and we could have booked ourselves in little nice boutique hotels in Sarria and Puerto Marin and Palais de Rey and Arzua, and then Monte de Gozo, and walked into Santiago on the 6th day, having someone carry our bags, and just stayed in hotels the whole way. If we had done that, they would have given us the piece of paper. So it was a little bit disappointing, and it gave me a funny feeling, to be honest, about the Camino, that when they stamped my passport with, "You don't deserve the Compostela," they put these words on my passport, it didn't feel so good. It felt like this Compostela, this piece of paper, is not for pilgrims who have walked the Camino, it's for people who have come and spent their money in Galicia. I wasn't so happy about that. Pero bueno, the Camino is what the Camino is. And I love it.